sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeovers here, we have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Do you want a kick-ass t-shirt? Just go to Reaver.1 and click on the shop button. How's everybody doing today? So far, I think I'm doing good. Could be better, could be worse. Always could be worse. Could be worse, we could have Hillary as our president. What's funny is she's still crying about it. She's part of the resistance. Comey did it to me. Comey. I wonder if at night she has, like, night terrors, wakes up screaming, Comey! Bill's like, shut up, go back to sleep. I love it. She's like, well, I do take responsibility for my loss. There was reasons for me. But it was Comey. It was WikiLeaks. If you got to qualify your answers like that, you're not taking responsibility for yourself. You're blaming others for your loss. It's just, oh my God. Almost too friggin' funny. It is, it's disgusting watching the Democrats right now. Republicans aren't making me that happy either. You know. We got the asshole calling in already. Hold on 1 second. I want to welcome to the show, Crash. You there?
Nope, not here.
I got confused. I didn't hear all the wind in the background yet.
I haven't started driving yet.
Yeah, I know. But it was very quiet in the background. Oh, there was an article.
Very quiet. We hunt rabbits.
Oh, there was actually an article. Yeah, here it is. Well, I haven't found it, but I know what it is. And we'll discuss it more tonight. It's not political either.
It's not what?
It's not political.
Okay.
Do you watch Discovery at all?
Discovery Channel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to all the time. I don't watch much TV anymore at all, but yeah, I used to watch it all the time.
Oh, no, well, there's a new program they got on, a special. This treasure hunter was friends with an astronaut. And right before the astronaut passed away, he gave him a buttload of documents and charts and everything. What this guy was doing, he was up during late 60s, early 70s, and they were testing, they still don't know exactly what he was testing, but it was supposed to be able to get like really close-up pictures of nuclear sites Well, during some downtime, he was going over certain sections of the ocean, and he was seeing items in the water.
Good shit.
So he started charting it out. And he passed away before he could really do anything about it. Well, he had gotten friends with the treasure hunter, and he gave one piece to the father, one piece to the son, and they've come together, and they just found the anchor in a Caribbean shipwreck. So if memory serves me correct, it's Turk and Caicos. The anchor of Christopher Columbus off of, I think it's the Nina or the Pinta.
No shit.
At first I saw the show, I'm like, oh, it's going to be another one of these treasure hunting shows that never finds anything at the end of it. It's hitting the news that it's been confirmed that he has found the anchor. Well, as they're saying, analysts of the anchor, which was found off the Turk and Caicos Islands, reveals that it dates to between 1492 and 1550. The overall size of the anchor and its estimated weight of 1,200 pounds and 1,500 pounds indicates that it was a bow anchor from a 300-ton vessel, the typical size of a Columbus-era ship. Now, it sunk right where I'm trying to go through.
First landed.
No. This is not. What happened is after they discovered, quote unquote, discovered America, they went on to find other areas.
Discover shit.
That's why I said quote unquote. He went on to find other areas, and he was doing the gold route for the Spanish. Well, they were coming back, and they hit into a hurricane in Turk and Caicos, and they had anchored there. And one of the ships went down. And supposedly on this map, there's something like 15 to 20 other wreck sites that this astronaut mapped out from space. Gordon Cooper's the astronaut's name. But he's mapped out a shitload of wreck sites that he saw from space. How you doing, Claudia?
That's wild.
Yeah, it blew my mind when, like I said, when I first saw the show, I was like, yeah, typical BS. Now that they're actually finding stuff, history had hunting Hitler. They got the guys on Oak Island. They haven't found anything yet.
I was going to say that I watched that Oak Island thing for probably I think I got into the second season, and it was just same fucking thing every goddamn
Something's there.
time.
Something's there. I do believe something's there, or was there at one time.
But it's
Yeah.
It got boring to watch.
Well, they're also getting screwed up by the Canadian government. The Canadian government is really messing with them about how and when and where they dig for the treasure. Hell, if they find the treasure, Canada has a right to take it from them without any financial
compensation.
Yeah, without financial compensation.
How is that even?
Because
they
it
own the
is
fucking island. They bought the whole thing.
yeah, but it's historical site. Some of these governments get real screwy when it comes to that stuff.
I was going to say, that's typical government BS. You go ahead and invest all of your money into your land. You go ahead and make the improvements. You go ahead and do all this. Oh, you did a really good job. I like it. I'm going to take it from you.
Exactly.
Oh, fuck. I mean, that's like that eminent domain bullshit.
Well, the other one I liked was Hunting Hitler. They pretty much proved that Hitler did not commit suicide. That he got out of Germany and was recreating the Third Reich. He was going to recreate it and attack America. And that he ended up dying in Brazil or something like that.
Nah, that's all fake news. Russia did it.
Yeah. Russia. Oh, my God. Okay, hold on. You'll get a kick out of this. Nobody laughed in it. I was like, what the hell? I was playing our game the other day, and two Russians started talking back and forth. I was like, holy shit, Russia's invaded battle pirates. Holy shit, there's collusion. That's why the game's all screwed up.
There's collusion on the raid. Russia did it. That's why.
All right, at least you found it funny. I felt bad because I was explaining the other day about the games I play online, and one of the things I love is coming across people, actual people that live all over the world, from Russia to England to France, Italy, Australia, all over. We actually get to talk to the people and hear what's really going on in their country, not the news version of it, the actual version of what's going on.
Shoot, with all that crap that's been going on in Europe, we've got, 4 or 5 people that we play with regularly that have been telling us firsthand everything that's been going on for the past few years.
Yeah, one of them's in England was telling us, way before Trump, way before the riots and everything, what was going on in England, the no-go sections, how England was getting taken over and they were getting fed up. Even back EverQuest days, that's going back a little bit. We talked to people that I played in a guild that was...
Yes, kind of a number 3 medium.
Fat boy time. I was talking to guild members that were... It was a European guild that spoke English, so I dealt with them all the time, and it just... It wasn't that we were talking politics. We'd just get talking about personal life, and they would tell me and others about what was going on over there. And you're talking, late 90s, early 2000?
I was going to say, you're talking EverQuest days.
Yeah.
Christ.
No, it was early 2000 that I started playing.
No, I started early 2000s. You had already been playing at that point.
Oh, I was only playing maybe a month or two before you.
Oh, really? I thought you were on longer than that.
No, Lee was the one that was playing long before that. But EverQuest didn't start until, I think, 1999. The beta started in 99.
See, the funny thing is, with that game, it was never dated on what, when did you start date-wise? It was, which expansion pack were you in?
And it's still that. Which expansion pack did you start with? Right after Planes of Power. Yeah, I had talked about games and how it's more than just the game. It's the camaraderie that you get with people you don't know and how you work together with them and just have fun. And speaking of, you got hit the other day. Your base got leveled. Oh, no. You got to click on it. Watch the replay so you can look at the picture of the person that hit you.
Why is that? Who hit me?
Oh, cute girl. Oh. Very good cleavage shot, too. We've been leveling her, and it's, who hit you? The big booby girl. All right, I'll go get her.
You got booby taunted in Battle Pirates?
Yes, I got booby taunted. I even said that the other day.
Thank you. Have a good one.
I said that the other day in game that I got booby taunted. And for those that don't know, in EverQuest, there's a raid that you do, and of course, these characters, the female characters, are very well endowed. And the main mob that you have to kill, all of a sudden, she starts jumping up and down, and her boobies start bouncing. So they named it the booby taunt because a lot of guys went, "Ooh, look at that!" Oh
God.
So, if anybody, I don't get paid for this, but if anybody is interested, watch Cooper's Treasure. It's on Tuesday nights at 10 o'clock on Discovery. And next week, I think, is actually the week where they show that he finds Columbus's anchor. I mean, that's a huge historical find within itself.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if they... But it's amazing how all this is coming about because the astronaut was paying attention to...
That's it.
Believed to be linked. Yeah, this was one of the ships from the third voyage of Columbus. And, yeah, I think it's the Pinta. So, that's going to be a major find for the world. I mean, not just the United States. This has to deal with Spain, Italy. The heck?
Oh, everybody's going to be wanting a piece of that one. I mean, that's huge.
Yeah. Well, he traveled to Spain to get the manifest of that voyage. So they actually, oh my God, he walked into the room and it was breathtaking. I mean, the size of it was humongous. And all it is manifest of all the ships from the history of Spain. And I'm talking.
That's kind of cool.
I mean, the boxes upon boxes upon boxes. It looked like 12-foot ceilings, and the shelves went all the way up with boxes.
So she had shelves that went all the way up.
Oh, yeah. She had shelves that went all the way up. But, yeah, he went and got the actual manifest, so he could look for items that were on the floor of the ocean and match it to the manifest to help identify
exactly what it is. Yeah.
Well, it was kind of hard because it was written in calligraphy Spanish, I think he said, and it's different than regular Spanish. So he had to find an interpreter to interpret it for him. Because he goes to the place to get the manifest, and the guy's like, we just do the research. We don't translate. We don't know this language. That's your problem. So. Oh, and on a personal note, because I had been talking about, I finally got that 275-gallon tank in place, plumbed in, ready for rain to collect rainwater.
And now Florida's going to have a drought.
Oh, we're already there. It's been threatening to rain the last couple of days. I've been joking with my neighbors because I took down my 55-gallon system. That's why it hasn't rained, because it's waiting for that 275-gallon tank to be put in. So he kept yelling at me to get that frig put in. Yeah, you know what? Now, I love having that in because I can water my damn plants anytime I want and not worry about any water restriction.
Yeah.
55-gallon that lasted me a long time for watering flowers. And even if I wanted to, I could even use that water to wash a car. I mean, it's that clean because any dirt, any contaminants float to the bottom, not float, but sink to the bottom of the tank, float to the bottom of the tank. Holy shit. That's a new one. So it's pretty clean water. I wouldn't drink it. I know a couple guys that were in my backyard doing some work, and they got a little hot, and, well, I had a different setup at that time, and it was open on top. I was like, stick your head in it. Next thing I know, the one kid's sitting there drinking. I'm like, dude, it's been sitting there for like 2 months. He's like, I don't care, I'm thirsty. I'm like, you're an idiot. He didn't get sick, but and they said it tasted pretty good. It was clean, and I was like, I'm not touching water that's been sitting outside for that long.
Yeah, that's what they say. You're thirsty or hungry enough. You never know what to drink and eat.
It's so California. Now we're going to get. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to go to break in a minute. So we got to kill like less than a minute. No, we don't. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, and we will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplains.dailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cat for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mud Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense with your host, Jersey Joe. I actually got Crash here today. Well, actually Wednesday, he seems to be back calling. The Jersey Takeover's here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.-ish on Mondays. If you want to watch broad... damn, I got to take that line out. All right. What do we got? California may place a third gender option on state documents. Now, originally, when the article was originally written, it had talked about it was being pushed by a single person, and they have a very rare genetic condition, and this person identifies themselves as female, but she was born intersex, having both male genes and with female genitalia and mixed internal reproductive organs. So she has a little bit of everything, but she identifies as a she. So now California is justifying putting a third gender, non-binary option on IDs, including birth certificates and driver's license. Now, the thing is, underneath that condition, I can understand. But once they started looking into it, this is being pushed by transgender groups. I'm sorry, you were born with male genitalia, genes. You're a male because that's something that you need to identify with a doctor. This is what you are, because you're going to have to be treated differently medically with whatever you're born with. If you want to dress up and you think you're a woman, you want to live your life as a woman or vice versa, go right ahead. But you are what you're born as medically. And that's where your IDs, your birth certificates have to match. If not, it could kill you.
Well, it's not even just that. I mean, there's the medical side of it, which most people just look past, like, oh, that's not, that's folklore. Oh, there's no difference. No, bullshit. There's a drastic difference. It's also differences with different ethnicities. Having a bigger predisposition to certain cardiac problems, to blood sugar issues, there's all different types of stuff with that. Now, the other side of it that I have a problem with all this, on an official document, I can say I'm undecided, I'm non-binary, I'm, the 16th son of Odin or whatever. That's an ID that is used to identify you. So, for whatever reason, I'm not saying that you're a criminal, but you know what? If somebody robs a bank, well, I'm going to identify that person based on what their outward appearance was. But now all your documentation says that you don't identify as anything, so you can switch and choose what you want to do based on your mood that day. I mean, essentially, it's allowing people to conceal whatever they want, whatever they want. I don't look at it as being a whole lot different than, allowing the hijab to be worn on government ID photos. It's bullshit. I don't agree with it. You are, this is what you're, now in her case, okay, she was born with this medical condition. Okay, then that makes sense. Let that be the third one that can be legally identified.
Yeah,
but
that's
that I can choose to do. Like, I should not be able to go down to the DMV today and say, today I identify as a chick. Here's my tits. I want my driver's license changed.
Well, then it's not just that. You have parents that are this liberal pushing, and when the kid's born, we're not going to label whether he's a boy or girl. We're going to let them decide when they grow up. No.
That's crap.
Oh, my God. It boggles my mind. I mean, that really is endangering the kid's life at that point. There is different medical treatments, whether your genes are male or female. And this is not because I don't like transgenders. I don't give a shit. I don't. I'm looking at it from a pure medical standpoint here, and it could endanger lives. And then what happens to the medical personnel, whether it's the EMT, paramedics, doctors, nurses? When that come to find out they treated the patient wrong because, I said I was female when you're male, or vice versa, then they're going to get fucking sued and lose their licenses. Because someone wanted to play boy for a day. Sorry.
Well, honestly, I don't understand that. If you go back years, right, and you have somebody, actually, no, let's not even go back years. Let's just stick with today's society. If I'm raising my kid, and I'm telling them that this one group is all bad, and this one group is all bad. Well, now all of a sudden the school gets involved, and DIFUS gets called, and, it's inappropriate to be teaching my kids that way. It can be causing emotional scarring, blah, 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 and the government wants to be all involved with my kid and how I raise them. But I can tell my kid they can be a girl today and a boy tomorrow, and that it can identify as whatever they have, and that doesn't have any type of emotional issue on that child when they are the most vulnerable? Bullshit. Now, I'll never tell my kid they can't be what they want to be. I'm never going to tell my kid that they can't do what they want to do. They want to work on cars, fine. I'll give them a toolbox. I don't give a shit. She's still a girl. It doesn't, it doesn't change the fact that she's a girl, that she wants to work on cars or she wants to play with Barbie dolls.
My daughter turns around all the time. I'm a tomboy. I don't like being a girl. I'm a tomboy. Okay, honey. Still means you have to take a shower, though. Come on. It drives me
so tired of this crap.
It's. I don't care. Yeah, and we'll immediately hear that we are anti-LGBTQPRS because we don't agree with this subject, which would make me laugh.
Well, the thing is, and that's why I get the biggest kick out of it, is that everybody immediately jumps to that extreme. Well, you're anti, LGBT, whatever. No, I'm not. I actually have always supported their rights. I've got friends and family members that are parts of that community. I'm not anti-them.
Actually, you want to know the funny thing is? Trump is the first president to openly, during his campaign, admit he is for them. He said he wants to protect them. He has no problem with them. No president, including Obama, has ever said that before.
The thing is, they want to jump just because I disagree with a policy. Because I'm looking at a policy and looking at the far-reaching sides of it. Not this little immediate, okay, it makes everybody feel good crap, but how it can be manipulated in the future. I mean, I got into an all-out argument with somebody in my household a couple of days ago because of stuff like that. Because they're putting, there's a law that's being pushed for stealthing.
Stealthing?
To make that a sexual assault crime. If you stealth somebody. For those of you that don't know what that is the male purposefully removing or tampering with the condom to make it ineffective and risk the woman getting pregnant. So if a guy does that, then he can be charged with sexual assault because she only agreed to protected sex, now it's unprotected. You know what? In theory, I don't really have a problem with it. What I have a problem with is the verbiage. Because, and I brought this up, the only problem I have with it is not the protection factor, it's the verbiage. What if it's the woman that does the tampering? Does this also relate to birth control pills and diaphragms? Oh, no, that's different. You can't compare the two. Why can't I compare the two? If this is about, and then I'm told, well, this has got to do with the males, the spreading of the male seed and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, how does it have to do with that when I had a girlfriend that purposefully was trying to get me to knock her up so that I wouldn't dump her ass? That has nothing to do with anything of what you're saying. It has to do with you're fucking with somebody's life. You're going to make me responsible for another human being that I'm choosing not to at this point in my life. Now, accidents do happen, and I fully would take responsibility for that. But I hate these one-sided laws. And then as soon as you point out that there could be a flaw in it, well, I was literally called a misogynist, and let's see, what does it matter to you about women's rights anyway? You got to keep your guns in November, so that's all it's really important.
Yeah, they always go to that, and that is a tiresome argument that I would say enough, because the only thing you care about is whether you can fucking kill a baby or not.
Well, yeah, and I pointed that one out. I was like, yeah, what about the news broadcaster that said, oh, women, go get your abortions now, because, once Trump gets in, you're going to have to live with your decisions. And I get just a typical bullshit answer of, I don't even remember what the answer was, but it's all one-sided crap. And you're going to tell a guy who's most of my family is all women, more aunts than uncles. I've only got daughters. That I don't care about women's rights? Really? You're going to tell me that? Way off base, baby.
It's a. They don't want to debate, so they throw out generic terms, and I would fucking hit them with that. I know you can't exactly always do it because it'll start some shit, but that Tell them to come talk to me about that shit, and I know they won't. Neither.
Oh, they won't.
No, because I'm not going to sit back and put up with the bullshit.
Yeah, now here's the true irony, and I thought about throwing it right back. So that's the comment that was made 4 days later, talking about other stuff. It'd be really nice when you can go hunting again, so that, get away from all this, crappy meat and stuff like that they're selling. Weren't you just complaining about my guns? Now you want me to use my guns to kill Bambi? What the hell is wrong with you? I just took everything I had not to just, bust out laughing and just completely point out the stupidity in how those two get put together.
Yeah.
It's oh, man. Anyway. Now, and the funny thing, actually, here's the really funny thing. I haven't been paying a lot of attention to it, but from the little bit that I have been paying attention to with the new GOP rule, with the whole repeal and replace, everybody keeps yelling and screaming that he's removing all these women's rights, he's removing all this, he's sending women back to the 50s, he's sending civil liberties back to the 50s. I haven't seen any proof of that.
No, there isn't.
The only thing is, I said, what, you're talking about the defunding of Planned Parenthood? Oh, well, there's more to it than that.
No, there isn't. It's been proven time and time again they don't do the other shit.
I was like, pretty much that's all he's going after is Planned Parenthood. He's not going after anything else in the healthcare bill, really, when it comes to just women. It's pretty much Planned Parenthood.
And it's not even shutting them down. It's just stopping federal funding.
Planned Parenthood only does, I think, what was it, one undercover study found, I think it was 5% of offices actually had other services.
Yeah.
The rest, it's abortion. There's no prenatal care. There's none of that. You decide you're going to keep the baby, that's it. Go pay your own bills, go to your own doctor.
And that's basically what it is. And then let me ask you, if Obamacare has to cover everybody, and everybody has coverage now, why do we need to fund Planned Parenthood? Even if they do other options, there's free health care. You can get health care everywhere else. You don't need to go to Planned Parenthood for free care anymore. That is a bullshit answer.
The reason I want to keep it is the anonymity. I mean, it's a truly anonymous thing. You go to your actual doctor to have anything done, there's records. You do that, those records stay there. It's more anonymous. You don't have to face, and I'm not trying to make light of people that have to make that decision. I'm really not, and please don't take it that way. Without going into my own personal history, I got a lot more fucking experience dealing with this than most people ever will in their lives, and you know what? That's a good thing, because nobody should ever have to go through it. However, it's still ridiculous to be putting all of this money. I mean, everybody's putting all the energy into defending this one organization.
But they don't want to defend our border.
No, they don't want to defend the borders. They don't want to, they're not truly doing anything for anything else, but we're going to defend this one organization. Now, I'm not saying I am pro-choice. I am pro a woman has a right to choose. Now, the thing, I mean, honestly, my own 2 cents on it, the one side of it that I can understand and agree with it to an extent, but not fully, is the father of the child has zero say. And women always say, well, you shouldn't have any say because that's our body, that's our right. You can't have any control over our bodies. But you're taking complete control over mine because you're saying whether or not my child deserves to live. And should you choose for my child to live, you're now saying that I am financially responsible and everything else for it, and you're going to take me to the cleaners, but I don't get the reverse. I can't make you carry the child to term and then sue you for child support while I raise it. I can't do that. I mean, the dads are really, I'm not saying that it's in all cases, but there are cases where the dads, I mean, they truly did want the kid. I mean, there's been cases where women have used this as a means of revenge. I mean, talk about fucked up. I mean, tea in a car is fine. Flashing tires, it sucks. Killing my kid? Fuck you.
Yeah, no, there's not. You're exactly right on that. It's ridiculous, but you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense. We'll be right back after this brief message.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid program.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Straight face.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. So this next article we're going to go over, I started laughing when I just saw the headline. Climate change is no more credible than magic, says top physicist.
It's no more credible than what?
Magic.
Okay.
A top physicist from Richard Lenzen from the Alfred P. Sloan Professor of Atmospheric Science Emeritus at Massachusetts Institute of Technology, an MIT physicist, has said global warming is no more credible than magic. He has long expressed doubt about the science behind the anthropogenic global warming theory. I'm laughing because what are they going to do? Discredit the physicist?
What they're going to turn around and say is, well, he's a physicist, not a climatologist.
Well, you have a children's scientist as your lead.
Bill Nye, the science guy.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I was just going to break him up.
Yeah, Bill Nye is like your big science push about global warming. Your other ones are...
Well, the funny thing is, his degree is in engineering. It's not even in the scientific field. It's in engineering. Not in chemistry, not in physics, nothing. He likes science, and you know what? I do too. But I'm not going to stand up on a fucking podium. I'll state my opinions, but don't state it as fact because you're a scientist and these are the facts when you are not even credible in that field.
What's even better is I've gone over this, as you know, several times on shows. And some of the organization that is responsible for watching our weather, the IPCC, and is a big a push for the global warming, one of their ex-leaders, he left because he said it became too politicized. Now, we've talked extensively on this, and I think we're both on the same page of, do we need to watch what we're doing? Yes. Could we have done some damage to the earth? Yes. But should we cut our legs off because we stubbed our toe? No. And that's what they're doing. They're trying to push these extreme measures.
Well, here's the thing. You know, if you're going to come out with a study, okay, and you're going to say that, all right, it's the carbon dioxide emissions, and that's what's killing the ozone layer, that's what's destroying everything, and we have to cut everything by 20% by the year 2020. Now, if you're going to come out with a study and state that, okay, fine. If you can back up that statement with scientific facts, okay, fine. And if you're going to tell the countries of the world, the whole world, that they have to do this, then okay, fine. But don't be on a fucking high horse telling the European Union and the United States that we have to cut all of our crap when we've already been pushing slowly towards cleaner sources of energy, and the biggest polluters are in Asia, and nobody's going after them. So nobody's going after the areas that are pumping the most of the shit out. I mean, there's people in California, Washington, and Oregon that are getting identified as having cancers that are related to certain toxins that were outlawed in the United States generations ago.
Yeah.
But they're still used over in Asia. It follows the air currents from their emissions, and we're fucking breathing that shit in. Go after them before you get on a high horse telling me that I need to check my privilege with my gas guzzler.
I agree 100%. It's. I sit back and laugh about a lot of this shit. I mean, okay, they're now saying that the civil war in Syria is caused by the pollution and global warming that America is causing. We have caused global warming in America that is affecting Syria, which has caused a civil war. Ignore the fact that their leader used chemical weapons on their citizens. I forget who said that asinine statement. I really do.
That fucking area of the Middle East has been at war since before the United States was even founded.
Well, here's the other thing. All the data that comes out and says the ocean is warming, rising, the temperatures are warming, all those have been found to be false numbers. They've been fudged. Now, what's happening is I see a lot of times is they have an answer, and then they create the evidence to support that answer.
Support the answer, yeah.
That's not how science works. And for them to be screaming, oh, it's settled, it's settled. Well, if we went by that theory, then the world is flat, the sun revolves around the earth, the universe revolves around the earth, you know, and there's so many other scientific discoveries over the thousands of years that they thought was settled, and, lo and behold, they're wrong. So not wanting to have a discussion and saying it's settled is just a way to say we don't have no facts, we don't have no evidence to back anything up. Shut your mouth, we don't want to talk about it. And it just pissed me off when it goes, well, 97% of the scientists, that is such a bullshit statement. Outright bullshit. In fact, it's a fabricated, designed to make idiots feel like expert. As this physicist says, the 97% of scientists believe in global warming claim is meant to satisfy the non-expert that he or she has no need to understand the science. Mere agreement with 97% will indicate that one is a supporter of science and superior to anyone denying disaster. This actually satisfies a psychological need for many people. But, he explains, it's just a trick to create by pretending that all scientists who agree that humans make a contribution to global warming also agree with the alarmist theory that global warming is catastrophic, unprecedented, and within man's control, which simply isn't the case. It gives a warm feeling to dumbasses that don't want to look at the information. Because where that 97% came up from, scientists that dealt with global warming, scientists that deal with global warming, that have written a paper on global warming, graded their own papers to see if they still agree with what they wrote. 97% of them said yes, they still agree with the paper they wrote. 3% said, no, we've changed our mind. That is like giving a high school student his final, saying, here are the answers, grade your papers, and tell me how you did.
Wait a second, see, I'm not supposed to do that in my college classes? Shit.
Oh, damn it, no.
Damn liberal university told me that's how I'm supposed to grade the papers.
But would you say that's a good analogy on how that number came about?
No, it is. That's actually pretty good. I like that.
There is no 97%, and what's scary is I had a lawyer quote that number to me one time, and I just looked at him and shook my head. I said, can you show me the poll? No. Do you know where that number came from? No. So you're quoting a number you have no idea except for the president said it. That's the mentality. He said it. It must be true. Trump says something. It must be a lie. The warmest year on record, meme, whatever you want to call them, the memes.
Yeah.
I've heard it so many different ways pronounced. Alarmists have been shrieking a lot recently that the most of the hottest years on record, 4 out of the 15, according to UN, have happened in the year since 2000. It is a silly number for a number of reasons. Linzan explains, and again, an MIT physicist. First, warmth is not necessarily a bad or worrying thing. It begins. Go ahead.
Here's the problem with that: is you got to look. You're dealing with you're dealing with the scientific facts. Okay, you've got to look at what is my sample size and what is my reference. Okay, now the larger your sample size, the more reliable your results are going to be. Now, I can go ahead and say, okay, well, global warming must be a fact because in the last 2 years, this year was hotter. So that proves, okay, well, let's see. How about I just wait until next year then? If the year is a little bit cooler, now I can say global warming is bullshit because the Earth's now cooling off, not warming up. And all you have to do is change one parameter. instead of using 2016 and 17, I use 15 and 16. And I can literally pick which years or which brackets to use.
That's what he actually goes to.
15 years?
That's
You're going to use that?
That's what he brings up in this section of his comment. Depending on what year you go to, is you can make every year the hottest year.
Oh, I'm actually kind of impressed with myself now.
Well, he brings up also the CO2 aspect increase and said that is not bad. And he goes on, we know that neither of these presumptions are true. People retire to Sunbelt rather than to the Arctic. CO2 is pumped into greenhouses to enhance. Why would you pump CO2 into a greenhouse? To enhance plant growth. What do we have going on right now? Because we do have somewhat of a high level of CO2. Plant growth is exploding across the planet right now. What do plants give off? Damn, do you not know science? Are you even there?
Yeah, breaking up.
All right.
Wait, I might have you back. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, yeah, I went to that dead spot.
Okay, so plants give off what? Or I should say, why would you pump CO2 in a greenhouse? To enhance plant growth. What do we have going on right now across the world? And there's a lot of documentation. Plants are growing at a faster rate right now because there's a little bit higher CO2. And what do plants give off?
Oxygen.
What do we need to live?
Oxygen.
So it's a nice, it goes back and forth because once you have too much oxygen, the plants are going to slow down and die. We've had a large amount of expansion and killing off a lot of plants, so you're going to get a high CO2 level. All right, second, it doesn't, as some idiots believe, mean that global warming hasn't paused for the last 20 years. Of course, if 1998 was the hottest year on record, all the substantial sequential years will also be among the hottest years on record. None of this is contracted the fact that the warming, i.e. temperature increase, has ceased. Third, the difference in temperatures are so small as to be almost unmeasurable and open to all manners of fraudulent adjustments by political motivated climate gatekeepers.
He's counting them up.
Oh, and it goes more. You had wanted to say something, so I stopped.
Yeah, no, that's fine. No, he's counting it up. I like that. The thing is, and this is, the Earth is, if you look at the Earth as a living organism, okay, what do our bodies do? They heal themselves, right?
Yeah.
We go through periods of up and downs, we get fevers, we get sick, but we heal. We're a living organism, right? Most organisms are that way. If you look at the Earth in a similar context, now I don't think the Earth needs to have its own gender identity, however. If you look at it in a similar context, it's going to go through its ups and downs. We've had there's been countless documentation of all-out ice ages. Well, what caused the ice age? There was no pollution back then. It wasn't anything that we were doing. Was it one of them was it was a meteor strike that threw ash clouds up. Another was a ring explosion. There's been all types of speculation, and you know what? Any one of those things could have done it. But the fact of the matter is, the Earth froze over numerous times and then thawed itself out and moved on. Life was reborn. The Earth heals itself. The Earth takes care of itself. Should we pay attention? Yes. Should we be negligent? No. However, I also don't think that we need to go into fucking fear-mongering and use this as an excuse to over-regulate and dictate to everybody how to do something because Joe Blow says so. Guess what? A different Joe Blow is going to be in that office in 4 years. What if he has a difference of opinion? I'm supposed to keep changing my life every 4 years to suit your whims? It's not the way the government is supposed to be done. Yeah, this whole system is jacked up bullshit. It's all political interest groups, it's all lobbying, and it's all stuff that it was never intended to be. And our founding fathers would be flipping the fuck out with what we did to this country. I mean, what was it when they signed the Declaration? What was it? Ben Franklin came out and a woman asked him, so what do we have? And he said, a republic, if you can keep it.
Yep.
If you can keep it. It's flat out stating it is fragile and it always will be. And it's up to the people to maintain the system. We gave up the system and we handed it over to big government, big business.
Exactly.
And people are tired of it. They want it to fuck back.
All right. We got to go to break. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, and we will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cap for the stupid program.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its host, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover's here. We have expanded 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, so we are back there, fat boy, aren't we?
Uh-huh.
All right, I want to go over more what this physicist had to say. I love this. I love it when these experts that come out that are not afraid that they're going to get silenced. Because that's what happens is these scientists come forward and then their careers get ruined because they spoke out against the almighty. Sorry, I'm hearing a noise and I just figured out what it was. The almighty global warming controlling myth. He goes on to talk about the extreme weather meme. The idea that we are experiencing more extreme weather events because of climate change is plain dishonest. A Roger Pielke Jr. actually wrote a book detailing the facts that there is no trend in virtually any extreme event, including tornadoes, hurricanes, drought, floods, with some actually decreasing. Even the UN's IPCC acknowledged that there is no basis for attributing such events to anthropogenic climate change. God damn it, I hate those big words. In fact, it is pure propaganda designed to scare the ignorant. The claims of extreme weather transcends the usual use of misleading claims. They often amount to claims for the exact opposite of what is actually occurring. The object of the claim is simply to be as scary as possible, and if that requires claiming the opposite of the truth, so be it. He then goes on to the sea level is rising. Global average sea levels appear to have been rising at the rate of 6 inches a century for thousands of years. Well, that kind of tells you right there. You know, they scream that it's, oh my God, it's rising, it's rising. It's been rising for thousands of years. Before man, it's been rising. It's going to vary in up and down. You know, it's...
Thanks a lot. You do the same.
I want to bang my head when they come out with some of these statements. You know... Arctic sea ice. After decreasing in the Arctic for a period, increasing in the Arctic, it now appears to be stabilizing, but so what? All one can say at this point is that the behavior of the Arctic sea ice represents one of the numerous interesting phenomena that the Earth presents us with, and for which neither the understanding nor the needed records exist. It probably pays to note that melting sea ice does not contribute to sea level rise. Moreover, man has long dreamt of opening of a new Northwest Passage, so it's curious that it is now viewed with alarm. He goes on to the polar bear meme, which is funny because there's the same amount of polar bears that there was in the 70s. And I suspect that Al Gore undertook considerable focus group research to determine the remarkable effectiveness of the notion that climate change would endanger polar bears. His use of an obvious Photoshop picture of a pathetic polar bear on an ice float suggests this.
I love how somebody post that one, and they put underneath of it, this is why we have to fix global warming. That poor bear's now going to drown. I was like, I posted that, idiot, they swim. What? Do you even know what you're talking about?
No, they don't. They're told the scary incident's going to happen. The polar bear is not declining. There's animals that have gone into extinction with no interference from man at all, but they blame man for extinction of every animal. Have we done some stupid shit and killed off some animals? Yes. But there's a lot of animals that are not around because it's called nature.
People really should look back at Darwinism, because I swear to God, if they ever actually did, you'd realize that most of our politicians wouldn't survive.
Yeah. Ocean acidification. This, again, is one of those obscure claims that sounds scary but doesn't stand up to scrutiny. Ever since the acid rain scare, it has been realized that the public responded with alarm to anything with the word acid in it. It's as usual, there is so much wrong with this claim that it takes a fairly long article to go over it all. I recommend the following sources, and he gives some. The death of the coral reef. Now, this one makes me laugh because they talk about the Great Barrier Reef in Australia. It's dying. It's dying. When Australia has gone out and said it's not dying and shut up about it because you're killing our tourist business with this propaganda. The Great Barrier Reef is not dying. Nothing's wrong with it. But what they are doing is killing a tourist business and fucking with the financial of Australia. They make some of the most asinine, wild claims and can't back a single one of them up.
I'm doing nothing but just shaking my head over here.
I'm doing the same as I go over this. Hardly anyone has the time and energy to deal with the huge number of claims. Fortunately, most are self-evidently absurd. Nation magazine recently came up with what is a bit of a champion in this regard. CO2, it should be noted, is hardly poisonous. On the contrary, it is essential for life on the planet, and levels as high as 5,000 parts per ppm are considered safe on our submarines and on the space station. Current atmospheric levels are around 400 ppm, while due to our breathing, indoor levels can be much higher. The Nation article is typical in that it makes many bizarre claims in a brief space. It argues that a runaway greenhouse effect on Venus led to temperatures hot enough to melt lead. Of course, no one could claim that the Earth is subject to such runaway, but even on Venus, the hot surface depends primarily on the closeness of Venus to the Sun and the existence of dense sulfuric acid clouds covering the planet. Relatedly, Mars, which also has much more CO2 than the Earth, is much further from the Sun and very cold. As we have seen many times, such matters are mere details when one is in the business of scaring the public. I'm going to have to find the original article and post it.
All right, I got to get running.
All right.
Into the shop, but I'll talk to everybody later.
Well, yeah, we got tonight, Southside Mutts, so... And a bastard hung up on me when I was in the middle of a sentence. How dare he? It is oh my God. It is absolutely ridiculous. The highly intelligent, well-informed science absolutely sick to the back teeth of trying to explain the truth about climate change to audience, which have been brainwashed into drooling idiocy. For over 30 years, he has been giving talks on science of climate change when, however, I speak to a non-expert audience and attempt to explain such matters as climate sensitivity, the relation of global mean temperatures abnormal to extreme weather, that warming has decreased profoundly for the past 18 years, etc., it is obvious that the audience eyes are glazing over. Although I have presented evidence as to why the issue is not a catastrophe and may likely be beneficial, the response is puzzlement. I am typically asked how this is possible. After all, 97% of scientists agree. Several hottest years on record have occurred during the past 18 years. All sorts of extremes have become more common. Polar bears are disappearing. as is Arctic ice, etc. In brief, there is overwhelming evidence of warming, etc. I tend to be surprised that anyone could get away with such downright dishonesty, but it is unfortunately the case that this was not evident to many of the listeners. If this was real and there was evidence, I'd be right behind the movement. I'd be right behind to do whatever we needed to do. There is no evidence. There's fear-mongering. There is, in short, a lot of bullshit. Linzen, however you say his name, everybody who listens to the shows know I butcher last names all the time, does not even pretend there's a credible scientific case for the man-made global warming scare theory, because basically there just isn't one. Believing in this theory, he concludes, is as stupid as believing in magic. I haven't spent much time on the details of the science, but there is one thing that should spark skepticism in any intelligent reader. The system we are looking at consists in two turbulent fluids interacting with each other. They are on a rotating planet that is differentially heated by the sun. A virtual constituent of the atmospheric component is water in the liquid, solid, and vapor phase, and the change in the phase have vast energy ramification. The energy budget of this system involves the absorption and re-emission of about 200 watts per square meter. Doubling CO2 involves a 2% perturbation to this budget. I'm getting out of breath here. Holy shit, this article's long. Where was I? So do minor changes in clouds and other features and such changes are common in this complex multi-factor system? What is the likelihood of the climate, which itself consists in many variables and not only just global average temperature anomaly, is controlled by this 2% perturbation in a single variable? Believing this is pretty close to believing in magic. Instead, you are told that it's believing in science. Such a claim should be a tip-off that something is amiss. After all, science is a mode of inquiry rather than a belief structure. I have said that multiple times. When they say the conversation is over, that's when you start questioning. That's when you start wondering what is wrong. Because they shouldn't be going, the conversation's done and over with. We don't need to have a discussion anymore. That tells you they're hiding stuff. When they got to shut the conversation down, that tells me there's a lot wrong. I mean, we have scientists that are solidly against global warming theory. Not because they don't want to believe, but because they don't see any evidence. That is the issue. The scare tactics that are being used. That's where we need to question. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, and we will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cow for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. And I got my new toy in today. So, as I had talked about, I have a water tank and all that. Well, I got a pump hooked up to it. Well, I got a battery hooked up to the pump. I got a little 12-volt pump with a little 12-volt battery. So what I did is spent like $15. I got a little 12-volt solar panel. And I spent the $10, I think it was, $15 for the regulator. So now what's going to happen is I get to put this up. It'll charge itself. It'll shut off when it's charged. So I get to water my plants and everything off the grid. Sorry, I had to do that. I just had to. All right. So. Yeah, let me look at that. Hook this up when I get back after picking up my daughter. And voila. Free water pump at no cost whatsoever. Well, it won't be costing me any house energy or anything like that running. Because what happens, I've been running the pump. When the pump runs down, run outside, grab the pump or battery, disconnect it, come back inside. You know, back and forth, back and forth. Not bad, but at the same time, hey, you know what? I can do this where I don't have to be constantly disconnecting the battery. I can do it and just, hey, plug it in, just flip the switch when I need it, turn the switch off, and it's self-sufficient. But, you know, according to liberals, we don't care about stuff like that. Yeah, that's a bunch of bullshit. I've been saying for a while, it's not that I don't care about the environment or worry about the environment. I do. I care. It's the way they're going about it, how the degree they're going at it. They're using this for political reasons, not environmental reasons. They don't give a shit, a rat's ass about the environment. They're doing it to get votes, people. Nothing more, nothing less, but this is a way to get votes. Believe it or not, I could care less. This is nothing more than to get votes. It's I don't know. It's ridiculous is what it is that we have to go over this time and time again because some idiot wants to win an election, so he will throw everything into pure hell just so he can win. And that's what they are doing. Causing it in pure just... I can't even think of a proper word to give this. Whatever it takes to win an election, that's all they just care about anymore. They don't care about the environment. All right, I'm going to get off that. It's just an annoyance and a mind scratcher. The lies that they put out. And what's scary is the people that fall for it, that blindly fall for it. That's what scares me. So many people that just blindly fall for it. These people are smarter than that. And some of these scientists are ruining their reputation, their career, for their moment in their sun. And it just... Damn. They just ruining their careers. Right now they're doing good, but when more of the facts come out, it'll be worse. I don't know. According to the Wall Street Journal, Democrats are trying to squelch the Susan Rice unmasking story. They're covering up, as usual, and they're covering up for liberals. The Wall Street Journal, in addition, over the weekend, said Democrats are trying to squelch the story of Susan Rice unmasking of Trump campaign official, and the House and Intelligence Committee should investigate the former National Security Advisor. The woman has been caught lying to the American public multiple times. Multiple times. It was a video. It was a video. She went out there and kept telling the American people that Benghazi was started over a protest over a anti-Muslim video, knowing that it was not the case. They knew it. They went out and pushed a false narrative so Obama could win a second term. And just so many people, oh, she says she didn't lie. She didn't lie. I just can't believe it. They will cover up anything. It boggles my mind. It really does, people. Hold on a second. Last month, Bogler Mike Cernovich and other news outlets reported that Rice had unmasked or identified the names of Trump campaign officials caught up during surveillance of a foreign target. The piece said that Democrats raised a fuss in 2005 over then senior Bush official John Bolton doing the same thing, but with far more justification due to the job he held, but are now going all in to squelch the story. Then Senator Joe Biden and Chris Dodd kicked up a fuss that as Undersecretary of State for Arms Control and International Security, Mr. Bolton had 10 times over 4 years asked for the names of American officials who were swept up in NSA monitoring. Democrats and their press allies are going all in to squelch the Susan Rice unmasking story, insisting that the decision by Barack Obama's national security advisor to seek the names of at least one Trump campaign official was routine and no big deal. For example, it said House Intelligence Committee Democrat Adam Schiff released a tutorial on why unmasking is lawful. Susan Rice did nothing wrong, said an ABC headline, quoting no one on the record. When they do it, it's perfectly acceptable. When anybody else does it, oh my God, it's the end of the world. And that's what Democrats do. They talk about justice, but they offer no justice. The only thing they talk about is protecting their own, or the only thing they do is protect their own ass, and that is it. I'm at an absolute all over it. They constantly protect their own like a mafia family. Republicans, for the most part, follow the laws. And the Democrats know that. And the Democrats, well, they do whatever they want, when they want, and ignore the laws. And then when they see the American people starting to do that, well, they make new laws. Us peons have to follow a strict law, while Republicans do whatever the hell they want. To me, the Democrat Party is turning into be nothing more than a criminal enterprise. I know that's a big step to take, but they are a criminal enterprise. And they should be investigated as such. The Wall Street Journal editorial also pointed out that while Rice and Democrats have defended her action as not uncommon, Democrats in the media 2005 characterized it as unusual. At that time, Dodd claimed unmasking was rarely requested and infrequently by political employees such as Mr. Bolton. The New York Times also reported that requests to unmask are not common, particularly from policy makers. Now, it's perfectly acceptable. It happens all the time. Don't worry about it. Don't question. The editorial also argued that there was no apparent reason for Rice to have requested the unmasking of Trump campaign official names, contrary to her explanation. Miss Rice had no direct intelligence duty in NSC posts, and no Democrat has provided a valid reason that Ms. Rice might have needed to unmask anyone associated with a Trump presidential campaign, the editorial said. Rice has denied doing anything untowards with the intelligence she received, as did Bolton, but Democrats had drawn up a list of 36 individuals that he clashed with and called on National Intelligence Director John Nagarpodi to rule out they were the target of Bolton's unmasking. Now, you'll also remember that they pushed House Intelligence Chairman Noon to step aside from his committee's Russian probe after complaints from left-wing activist groups that he discussed unmasking in public. But Democrats in 2005 couldn't stop talking to the press. More evidence that the damn Democrats do whatever the hell they want while holding the Republicans' feet to the fire. And we got to hold the Democrats to the same standard. And that's us people have to do it. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, and we will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. Don't forget, tonight, 8 o'clock, Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Much So with the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Crash. At 9 o'clock, Eastern Standard Time, is Ken, the Exceptional Conservative. Followed at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Sackheads Radio Show. Tonight is one of the best nights. Don't forget, 2 o'clock, we have the Lid Show. Lid Radio. Damn it, I always screw up names, don't I? Don't I? Oh, boy. I can be a dum-dum sometimes, I know. Let me pull up the master list. So let's see. Wednesday. We also at 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, we have the Right Guys with Ralph Chittum Sr. and Lonnie Poindexter. 6 o'clock is the Conservative Syndicate Show. 2 o'clock, we'll have the Lid Radio Show, as I said. 8 p.m. is the Southside Much So with the Jersey Boys. 11 o'clock tonight, the Sackheads Radio Show. Wednesday is one of the best day and night for conservative radio. To show you how it starts, 7 o'clock, we have the Right Way with Shannon and Mike. 11 o'clock, of course, is me, the Reaver of Common Sense. 1 p.m., we have the Unpleasant Blind Guy. 2 o'clock, we have the Lid Radio Show. 4 o'clock, the Right Guys with Ralph Chittum Sr. and Lonnie Poindexter. Then at 6 o'clock, we have the Conservative Syndicate Show. And as I said, the Southside Mutts at 8. Then 9, we have the Exceptional Conservative Show, followed by 11 p.m., the Sackheads Radio Show. That is the best lineup you can ever have on conservative radio. Some of the best conservative commentators are right here on SHR Media. All right. Let's see. Where are we? Well, I'm in Florida. I know that. Oh. Brain fart, tiny, tiny brain fart. All right. The piece also pointed out that names unmasked by Bolton still have never made it out to the public, in contrast with the illegal leaking in February of phone conversations held by former Trump National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. 12 years on, not one of the 10 individuals unmasked by Mr. Bolton has had his or her identity leaked. By contrast, the Washington Post reports that no fewer than 9 Obama appointees or career officials leaked or confirmed the identity and conversation of unmasked former Trump advisor Michael Flynn. If John Bolton's unmasking was questionable, then Miss Rice was more so. The House and Senate Intelligence Committees should investigate what she did and why. It is an absolute joke, the contrast of the two parties and what they get away with. Pisses me off. And the Democrats just sit there and bend over and take it so many times they don't fight back. Stand up, be men and strong women, and fight back. So many times you bend over, you take it from the Democrats. Pisses me off. It's like you want to lose, like you don't want to be in charge, you don't want to make the decisions. Absolutely amazing. It is amazing how the Democrats have gotten away with so much so often. This is disgusting, but at the same time, the irony made me laugh about it. Because we're being told by the Democrats that ISIS isn't that bad and Muslims aren't that bad. Well, I don't even know where to start with this. ISIS police officers, if you want to call them that, punished a guy in southern Syria. He was beheaded in the street. His crime? He was accused of performing magic. You know, pulling a rabbit out of the hat, pick a card, I'm going to saw this person in half. Well, he got his head cut off for performing illusions, for entertaining people. That's what his whole crime was. But yes, I can see how global warming caused that. I can see how a whole list of excuses that the Democrats give to help protect ISIS. I can see how that justifies them cutting someone's head off for performing magic. In the photo, one member of ISIS could be seen reading the ruling of the Sharia court, noting the Islamic penalty for the alleged transgression. Performing magic. That's how sick and depraved these bastards really are. FBI court filings reveals grand jury targeted Hillary Clinton. Just when you think we have learned most of what there is to learn about Hillary Clinton's email, a new mole pops up out of the hole. Last week, Judicial Watch released State Department documents included a declaration from FBI Special Agent, the supervisor of the agency investigation into Hillary Clinton's email activity, stating that a former Secretary of State was the subject of a grand jury investigation related to her BlackBerry email account. Now, why I say that is, where is it? At a Senate hearing, James Comey says the FBI investigation potential effect on 2016 election makes him mildly nauseated. It is absolutely amazing how deep the Hillary Clinton investigations go and how they wanted to hide more and more of that information. This was hidden. Don't you think we should have known that there was an attempt for a grand jury investigation? Hillary sunk Hillary. There was a huge attempt to protect Hillary. And she still couldn't win the presidency. Think of how much has gotten out about Hillary. That's a small percentage of what's actually being protected. And what's worse is there's people that ignore all the evidence out there about Hillary. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Real quick, because it's almost that time. The bias in the media. I know we all know it and we all see it, but here's one that's really. They're blaming Trump for a sluggish economy when he's been in office for 100 days, when employment has already gone up. We're having people going back to work left, right, and center. Jobs are opening up left, right, and center. But they're blaming him for a sluggish economy and made excuses for Obama for the first 100 days. Obama couldn't correct the sluggish economy in 8 years. They've made excuses for him along the way. They're already blaming Trump 100 days into his administration. When I have seen it with my own eyes. My wife's been out of work for over 2 years. She's now back to work. I had a businessman that I trust very much. Very connected into the business world. And he said, as soon as the elections are over and the new president takes over, you're going to see jobs galore open up. And it didn't matter if it was Hillary or Trump. Nobody in the business world trusted Obama and his regulations. Nobody trusted him in the business world. You've been listening to the Reaver Common Sense Show. I want to thank everybody. Have a great day.
You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.